All right, well, I hope you got your coffee, and I hope that you're sitting down comfortably in front of your television or your smartphone or your iPad or wherever you are, because I told you guys before that I'm chatting this morning with the chairman of the National Carnival Commission. Winston Gypsy Peters is in studio. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, good morning.
And a happy new year to you.
And to you and to Trinidad and Tobago and wherever else in the world you're being heard and seen.
So, Gypsy.
Yes, man.
You've been all over the papers, all over the news.
Is that so?
Everything saying no virtual carnival, and NCC and doing virtual carnival.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could safely say that as a statement now.
Well, you can say that, depending on if you what is deemed to be virtual.
Okay, so
that's if you take virtual to its real sense, it means nothing, right? You know that.
It means nothing?
Of course. But if you take it to its natural understanding, virtual means something that is non-existent. It's something that you create. It's a mirage.
Well, it's something that you create.
A mirage.
Well, it's something that you create.
A mirage.
People can see it. People can experience it still.
Not something that is physical that you're actually streaming or televising.
All right.
Okay.
So tell me, what is NCC doing then for the next 3 months?
Well, the NCC is planning, first of all, let me explain what NCC is and why we exist.
That's a very good place to start.
NCC is the National Carnival Commission of Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
NCC is an arm of the Cultural Ministry of Trinidad and Tobago. It forms part of the government mechanism that governs aspects of culture in the country.
Right.
We operate by edit of the government. When the government, the cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago says something, we are obliged not to follow suit. We are obliged to carry out that.
Okay.
And as such, we are a subventive organization by the government, and when we get our subvention, we subvent other organizations that takes part in Carnival.
Right.
The government pronounced that there will be no Carnival in 2021, and as such, the government has made no provision in its budgetary allocation to the NCC to finance anything like that.
All right. Understood.
So what the NCC is doing with the consent of the government is we are taking an antecedential look at what Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago is about. Because unlike what we believe, we have a whole generation of people in Trinidad and Tobago who don't really understand what Carnival is. They believe that Carnival is to put on just a bikini and
some people believe Carnival is feta and bacchanal and wildness.
Carnival,
and we know that is more than that, right?
Not we. No,
when I say we, I don't talk about me and you right now. That's me and you talking. Forget them cameras and
things.
No,
we have to.
I'm just here for style.
Well, you see, you could do that, but when I speak, I speak on behalf of the government. I speak on behalf of Trinidad. I speak on behalf of the National Carnival
And I understand
Commission.
what you're saying, because I agree that there are lots of people that
and
still
I'm
don't know.
saying that they don't understand. They still believe that Carnival is just to jump up and we have a good time. Carnival is much more than that.
Right.
More than anything else, the NCC has been part of the government and being a Trinidad and Tobago entity. Our first and foremost activity should be the preservation of life. And the preservation of life means that we have to do things in Trinidad and Tobago that will preserve our lives, because not for just this carnival, but for many, many, many carnivals to come. Because one of the worst things in the world to have is a carnival without people.
Well, that's what happening this year.
Well, that is not what is happening, because we have no carnival. What we have in this year is the preservation of life. So carnival means that we are going to be showing the world where this beautiful carnival that the world is so craved about came from.
How are you doing that?
Well, we are doing it by, like I said, taking an antecedential look at what Carnival is all about.
Right, but that's a very broad statement.
It is a broad statement, and I want it to be broad.
Why?
That's because it has to be broad in order for you to understand where something came from.
Well, no, but I want to know, when you said just now that you're going to show the world this. How are you going to show this to the world?
Well, through the very medium that people are talking about this virtual thing.
Right. So my question is the overarching message that you want to send with this, because you said 100 years of Carnival.
Just about 100 years of Carnival.
Right.
Yes.
What's the overarching message that you want to send?
The overarching message is that this is where all of this, what you're looking at in the rest of the world and you crave about it, came from. And we are going to show you different aspects of our carnival so that people now can want to come to see where this come from, because it's so different to all other parts of the world. Let me tell you something. Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago is the most unique carnival in the world. First of all, it's the only place, the only country in the world where mass or carnival is celebrated in every nook and cranny of a country. That is because it came from here.
Right.
Secondly, what you see in Port of Spain is not the same thing you'll see in San Fernando.
Or in Tobago.
And it's not the same thing you'll see in Tobago or Mayaro or Point Fountain or Sangre Grande. And I am one to saying that what is really carnival in Trinidad and Tobago is in fact our traditional carnival. And the world don't know that. What the world see is what we start doing for the last 20 years or 15 years ago.
Okay,
and
so we're going to archive.
We have an opportunity. We have an institute here called the Carnival Institute.
And they've been complaining for years that they have no funding to be able to do the kind of archival work that they want to do.
Everybody complains, and everything complains because there are things that takes precedent over other things. People complain the hospital are no bed. People complain the pipe
No, but I'm saying that I'm grateful. I'm grateful that this year we have the opportunity to be able to archive. I'm very happy about that.
I have the opportunity to fast forward it.
Right.
So we have the time.
You have the time.
We don't have to plan for Carnival 2021.
But you said just now that the government subvention is not in existence for you to be able to do the Carnival. But did you get enough to do archiving?
Because that's a whole different cost. Archiving. Inside of whatever we do, we would always find something to have for developmental work. And that is considered developmental work.
But 100 years of Carnival, you say,
So what's wrong with that?
No,
100 years of Carnival.
Nothing is wrong with it.
100 years of Carnival doesn't take 100 years to produce it.
It doesn't.
And it doesn't take 100 years to
my question is, what
either.
are the milestones that we are planning? So because 100 years, you can't tell me, if you're going to do 100 years of milestones, that will take a while to produce. But I don't expect that to be ready to present anytime soon.
Oh, yes, it will be. Because
when do you plan to present?
Well, during the course of the what we would call maybe the Carnival season.
So by February 16th, we could see something?
Well,
because that would have been Carnival Tuesday,
No, definitely you would see something. We are working on it all now. We've been working on it. And we're working on it all now.
I could ask some more in-depth questions
ask
about
me
that.
As deep as you want, and I'll go down and find
you're the chairman. I don't assume that you would be the person doing the archiving yourself.
No, I'm not.
Who is in charge of running the archives?
Well, we have a couple of people. I tell you, we have a whole institute called the Carnival Institute of Trinidad and Tobago.
So this is happening through the Carnival Institute?
It is happening through the Carnival, through the NCC, via the Carnival Institute, and some of your own archival work from right where you sit inside of here. Because this is a government entity, by the way.
Of course.
And this place that is called TTT has an enormous history and a lot of archival work. Maybe some of you who write in here, you probably don't know.
No, I am fully aware.
Very
I am fully aware of the
So I'm
archive
happy that you are so aware, and since you are so aware, it means that we are going to be using some of your work as well.
But I'm also aware that a lot of it is still on tape, and you're saying that it's not going to take 100 years, but some of that tape is going to take you quite some time to be able to go through, and I know that some of it has not even been touched yet because it's still in storage.
Some of those tapes have been touched.
I know some have, but I'm saying there's still a lot of things that haven't been even.
There would always be that. What you don't want to do with everything that you do is to excerpt things from it. You're not going to take year by year and give people every single thing that happened in that year.
I, as a consumer, right, as a Carnival lover, as somebody who's interested in the history of Carnival, I want to know what are some of the things. Just give me a few examples.
It's going to be aspects of the Carnival, whatever aspects we want to use. Every year have different aspects of the Carnival. There was a year in Trinidad and Tobago when we had only riot for Carnival. Do you know that?
Yeah.
That'll be there. We'll show you every aspect of Carnival. We accept it.
All right. Are you planning to engage with members of the arts community? So let's say the photographers, the animation people, the people who've been doing film, to be able to get content. Because yes, you're saying TTT has content, but that's still limited. There are people who've been capturing content and who
let me explain something to you, okay? We have had many proposals to do many things for Carnival. Many things. Some of them even for $30 million. Some of them for $20 million. Some of them for $15 million and things like that. And I want to tell you that most of the things that people come to you with, while we may have intangible benefits to the country, and most of it is centered around tangible benefits for themselves.
Well,
I mean self-preservation.
People should be paid for their work.
Yes, I agree. But I am saying to you that we have a job to also protect the people of Trinidad and Tobago in the wider sense. Because the thing about it is that Carnival is not just for the people who think that they could do all these animated things and whatever they want to do. Carnival is also for the man who cleans the street and build the little things that you see around the savannah and provide a whole living for people for 3 and 4 months after Carnival.
So then can we expect all that to be part of the archival thing?
No,
so we show in every year that there's a reason that we build all these things
no.
and the amount of people that are employed
No, well,
by
we don't
Carnival?
have to show that. I'm doing it now to tell people who don't know that that is what happened. You may not understand that Carnival is the largest temporary employer in Trinidad and Tobago.
Of course.
We employ hundreds of thousands of people.
Which is why when they said no Carnival, everybody was in an uproar. Because it's not just the practitioners, but the like you said, everybody selling food, the people who selling ice, who selling water.
If we have, if we take it to its natural conclusion and say that we are going to have the things that that the people want us to do, if we pander to everything that everybody brings to us, the people that are going to be displaced the most are the little people who need it the most, and the people who can most afford it are the people who are going to be benefiting from it the most. We, as NCC and a part of the government, cannot just think so narrowly. We have to think about everybody. So what we are doing is preserving what we have. We utilizing what we have now. There will be no Carnival, and we are going to save all of that for 2022, and the wider nation that benefit from the Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago can in fact benefit from it.
So then we are in a pandemic, right? COVID-19 has changed life,
the whole world,
as we know it,
yes.
right? As the NCC, as the body under the government, which is charged with the responsibility of, protecting, preserving, and making sure the Carnival is a thing.
Yes.
Right? What are the future plans? Like, what's happening going forward? Because the COVID-19 is here. It's not going nowhere. It's not going to disappear magically by 2022,
so
right?
What we
Even if we get a vaccine or whatever.
Let me tell you something. My name might be Gypsy, but I really don't have a crystal ball. It's just a nickname.
No, I want to know what the plan is. I mean, you have a vision?
I cannot look into the future. Nobody thought that in 2021 we were going to have something that exists here now. We never.
Yeah, but we knew for the whole of 2020.
No, but we never thought in 2020. I mean, after Carnival, we may have something. But nobody ever thought that this was going to be taking the world and doing what it's doing.
No, man. By July last year, we knew.
You knew that?
We knew.
All right.
We paid attention to the press conferences.
Okay, well, let me tell you, by July next year, from now, I don't know what is going to happen. So what we have to do is keep planning and hope that all of this subsides one way or the other. They have vaccines and they have whatever else.
So we have no plan to integrate the online digital aspect of things with the actual festival.
We have always been doing that. I don't understand why people thinking that we're not doing that. We have always been doing that. How you feel people outside of Trinidad and Tobago know about Trinidad and Tobago?
So then that's
Carnival?
why I'm asking. Like, that's the part that baffles me. Because you've been doing it, right? Because you're telling me you've been doing it and you've been putting on these shows. People view, right? People have been viewing these shows.
It's the same thing that they want us to do.
So then what's the difference this year?
This year,
why are you saying that people want you to do it and you're not doing it and it's virtual and all that?
We don't have the shows. We don't have the leeway to put on these shows because these shows cannot be put on. Carnival is a contact sport. Carnival is something that needs to be peopled. Carnival is not something that you do with 5 people and because you put 5 people to perform. You can do that. And if we are not preventing anybody from doing that, what we are saying is that us doing that and spending the people's tax-paying money does not benefit the wider Trinidad and Tobago in terms of profiteering, in terms of making a living off it. So we are not doing it, and the government says that we're not having any Carnival. So we cannot do it.
Right.
People who have their private money,
they can do that with their private money.
If you feel to go ahead, as long as you operate within the ambits of the
law,
of the constraint of the COVID-19 protocol, you could do whatever you want.
Okay,
but
will the people who are abroad, the same people who are watching Carnival, can they view this 100 years of celebration and be a part of it the same way?
Well, I don't know.
And when will we get that information as to how they can do that?
What I'm asking though, how do you want them to be a part of it? In what way?
The same way that you've been showing them the Carnival and the festival.
Well, of course we are going to show them. That's what we're going to do.
When is that information going to come to us? As in, how can we see it? How can we view it? How can we be a part of it?
You are going to be a part of it. The TTT, we are already in talks. We have been in talks with the management of TTT for a while.
Well, above my pay grade. I hate to ask on behalf of the people.
So since it's not above mine, I'm telling you what it is.
All right, so we look forward to finding out that information soon then.
Yes.
In terms of when these things will be available.
Yes, and we are in talks with TTT.
Gypsy, I want to ask about another question.
TTT will play a pivotal role in disseminating whatever we are doing, as they have always been doing through the years. There was a time when it was TTT alone that did that.
Exactly. And right now it seems like TTT alone is still doing it.
Well, we are happy.
The question I want to ask you before you go, right?
Yes.
since this whole situation happened with NCC and everybody talking and people asking questions and they want to know, I have no idea who the actual board of NCC is. Can you tell me who the board members are?
Well, the board members, first of all, is comprised of the three interest groups, the Carnival, the PAN.
Right. So Carnival Institute?
No. No. Carnival Institute forms part of the NCC itself.
Okay.
The board you're talking about.
Yeah, the board.
The PAN is represented on the board through its president.
Right.
TUCO is represented on the board through its president.
Right.
And MAS is represented on the board through its president.
That's NCBA.
Well, it's not NCBA, TTCBA.
TTCBA,
yeah,
right.
Quite apart from which now, we have the other members of the board, Davlin Thomas, the vice chairman, I'm the chairman. We have a couple other people on the board. The board has about 9 or 10 people on it.
Okay, I think a lot of people were curious as to who the board is because
easy to know. Freedom of information exists.
As I have you here, I go ask a question.
Yeah, but I can't remember all of these people. But
I thought they would have been close to you.
The governments over the years have made things so easy in Trinidad.
That's
one of the easiest things to find out.
All right, I hear you. Yeah. Well, Gypsy, I want to thank you for joining us this morning.
And listen, I want to thank you, and I want to thank you for as a young man, for asking all these questions. And I want to also tell you as a young person, I want you to encourage all your other young people to look at where Carnival really came from.
No, don't get fooled. There's a whole generation of us that want to know. We want to know.
And I want to tell you there's a whole generation who doesn't know.
Right.
And because they don't know, they don't even want to know. They don't care to know.
So we can't focus on them. We focus on the ones that want to know. We provided the information. The rest will come.
The ones that know are the ones who have to teach the ones who doesn't know.
Exactly.
All right, so this is what I want you to focus on, not the one who know. The one who know is like spinning top in mud.
But we had a shared, so that's why I'm happy that we're able to archive it and be able to share it. And I look forward to how it's going to be shared.
Can you allow me to do something very unconventional?
You're going to next tempo?
No. But listen, I have a friend in Miaro who I grew up with, my childhood friend. I leave Miaro this morning at 3 o'clock, by the way.
Wow.
And he said to me, his name is Errol Alfred. And he said to me when I come here, say hello to him. Errol, good morning. He always want to extempo with me. And he can't extempo a lick. So Errol,
and he can't extempo?
So I told you good morning. Let me hear you.
You started.
Let me hear you. You're asking me all these kind of questions. Some of them is too much here to mention. The thing that you asking me, some is bad and some of your questions is very hard. But telling you it is plain to see, I am the chairman of NCC, and now I could tell you after all, I answer in all your question and all.
All right, Gypsy, well, thanks for coming on the Now Morning Show here again. Wait, I think it says your first time that you're coming to talk on this prime time. Don't tell me that I'll bust you too quick, because my name is Rocker and I don't stick. We're going to take a quick break and come back now, so thanks for tuning in. Good morning, sir.